Hey there, friends. I wanted to send out a quick update to catch you up on what is going on with me. Some of you I may not have the chance to see for a while, so this is one of our best ways to connect. And so here we go. If you read here on the screen, you will see it says Bethany in Tanzania. And some of you might be wondering, is Bethany in Tanzania? Is she at Mavuno Village? Is she still trapped in Kenya? Did she make it back to the US? And the answer is yes, I did make it back to the United States. This is a trip that's been planned since last year. This is my scheduled home assignment. Of course, in January when I bought my plane tickets, I had no idea how much the world would change in such a short time. And so my almost 2 months in the States so far has looked very different than planned. But I am happy to be here and looking forward to whenever it is I get to catch up with all of you a little bit more. I'm going to start out here with a map. I think most of you know who I am and what I do and where I live, but I also know that sometimes people forget those things and may not even know what country I live in. So this is a map of the middle part of Africa, and you can see the country in red there is Tanzania, and I live in the northern part of Tanzania near Lake Victoria at a children's ministry called Mavuno Village. In August, I will have been there for 5 years. So to start out, let me give you a quick update on Mavuno Village. First of all, we have really good news. Our school is open. Many of you have been praying with us about that for a couple of years now, and we were excited in January to open up our school. It's a small start. You can see in this photo, these are our first teachers and our first students. And we've started with just a kindergarten and a first grade, and we plan to add a grade level every year. We also have several new kids and some new caregivers. Family House 4 is now almost full, and also we've had a change in Family House 1. The caregivers in Family House 1, they had been serving with us for about 5 years now, and just decided that it wasn't a good long-term fit and they were ready to transition out. So about a month ago or a month and a half ago, we had new caregivers move into that home, and so far it's going really well. If you see in this photo, this is a photo of Family House 1 and some of the kids that are in that home. So you can be praying for them as they adjust to putting a new family together. Many of you are wondering, have been asking about the COVID-19 situation in Tanzania. Tanzania is currently up to 450 positive cases as far as much testing as they have going on at the time. Right now, they have chosen not to put a strict lockdown measure in place, but they're continuing to monitor the situation, and all of the schools are currently closed, all of the colleges and universities and secondary schools and primary schools, including our school. So all of our kids are home at Mavuno Village right now, which is actually sort of a rare blessing and a special time for them. So you can continue to pray for the country of Tanzania with the COVID-19 situation, as they have their medical system has so few resources and could quickly become overwhelmed. So you can continue to hold them up in prayer. Some of you may or may not know that we have a new staff house being built at Mavuno Village, and the plan is for that to become my new house. And back in March, before I flew back to the States, I had the chance to visit Tanzania for a few days and got to see the beginnings of my new house. We're continuing to do some fundraising for this house, And right now, I think the construction is on pause, but hopefully sometime in the near future, this project will get finished and I will be moving into a newer, smaller house. Actually, the house that I'm currently in is bigger than what I need and could be better used in other ways. So we're excited about this project. Now for a visa update. This has really been the biggest thing going on in my life over the course of the past between 6 months to a year now. The important thing is I do have my visa. I have both my work visa and my residency permit now. I will be able to, when I go back to Tanzania, I will be able to stay for another 2 years, and we're really praising the Lord for that. I think if you guys were following my story, you know that I was in Kenya for a period of 6 months. From mid-September of 2019 until mid-March of 2020, I was outside of Tanzania, and at the beginning, we were waiting for my visa, my work visa, to come in, and then we did get a response. The response was that it was denied. Then we appealed that decision and waited to hear back on our appeal, and then got the news that our appeal had been granted, and then went through the process of applying for my residency. So that whole process took several months, and I spent most of that time waiting in Kenya. I also did some other traveling. The majority of my time was spent continuing to work on Mavuno Village and Tree of Life school projects. Because I was in Kenya in the same time zone as Tanzania, it made it easy for me to keep in close contact with my coworkers at Mavuno and to continue to make plans for the school and to work on projects together and keep in touch. So that was helpful. And so just wherever I was staying in Kenya, I would set up camp. And that's the great thing about technology, is your office can go with you wherever you are. Something else that I did was I visited a lot of other children's homes. I think in the end, I visited probably 10 to 12 children's homes. And this was a really helpful experience. At Mavuno Village, we're always trying to learn from others and to give others the opportunity to learn from us. And so visiting other children's homes was a tremendous blessing and a big help, both to me personally and to the ministry of Mavuno Village. Something else that I spent time working on was finishing up my counseling program. I've been working on a Master of Arts in Counseling for a few years now, and now all of my coursework is complete. I finished my last class in December, and I also completed a counseling internship for my counseling program. That took place in Kenya with an organization called The Well. It's a small children's home that has a new counseling program in place. And so they have 2 Kenyan counselors on staff. You'll see in this photo, this is Gift. And actually in the background in the red hat is Linzer. And Gift and Linzer are the counselors at The Well. And I had a great time working together with them, sharing ideas, collaborating with them, just kind of figuring out together what it can look like to provide counseling opportunities to children in a children's home setting. And so it was just incredibly beneficial learning experience that I will be taking back with me when I return to Mavuno Village. An update on my home assignment. It is, of course, looking quite different than I originally planned. I have experienced a lot of cancellations. All of the trips that I had planned have been canceled. Most of the people that I had hoped to see by now, I have not been able to see. My graduation has been canceled. But that has created some time and space for me to spend with family. The last 6 weeks have been spent in Tennessee and Georgia with my brothers, and I just arrived back in Illinois about a week ago. So I am thankful for this special time that I've had with them. The plan is for me to be here in the States through July, but I continue to sort of wait and see what the situation is with international travel, whether or not that will be possible, but I will keep you all posted on that. My phone number while I'm in the States is 309-423-0857. So, you can plug that into your phone, save me in your contacts, and send me a text message when you get the chance. I would love to hear from you. Call me up on the phone. I'd love to catch up. We can also, if you have the capability, we could set up a Zoom call. I would love to chat face-to-face, share with you more about what's going on with me, how things are going at Mavuno, answer any questions that you might have, answer any questions your kids might have. I really have a lot of fun sharing with kids about my life in Africa. So if you'd like to set up a Zoom call or set up a Zoom call with also with your kids or your grandkids or something like that, I would love to do that. So just send me a text message. What is next for me? Well, I will be going back home to Tanzania, and I'm really excited about that. There was a period where I didn't know if I was going to be able to return to Tanzania for a long-term period of time again, and so I'm really thankful for that. I don't take it for granted. I'm definitely ready to be home. I mentioned that back in March, right before I came back to the States, I had the opportunity to go down to Mavuno Village for a few days. Hadn't seen my community there for a period of 6 months, and so it was really good to catch up with my Tanzanian friends and my coworkers and the kids at Mavuno, and so it was really a special time. And if you look at this photo here, this is the path to one of the children's homes, and the caregiver in this home is my very good friend, and her family is my family, and I'm really looking forward to returning to Mavuno Village and getting back into my routines there. It will have been almost a year since I was last there when I get to go back, so I'm looking forward to that very much. I'm also really excited about this when I get back to Mavuno Village is I'm going to be starting up our counseling program. One of the things, just through my internship experience and visiting different children's homes over the last 6 months, made me really aware of the fact that it really isn't, when we look at providing counseling, when we think about responding to the spiritual, mental, emotional health of our kids, a lot of that has to do with just the way that we set up our model, the decisions we make about what we do and how we do it, the environment that we foster, the relationships that we foster between adults and kids. And I find that so much of what we do at Mavuno Village really is in the best interest of our kids, and goes a long way in providing a strong sense of identity and security for them. That said, I still absolutely think that there is a time and a place for a more structured type of counseling. And so when I return back to Mavuno Village, that's one of the things that we'll be working on is putting some of those structures in place so that when the need arises, we can provide counseling opportunities for our kids. So you can be praying for me in that, and just pray also for the rest of my time here on my home assignment in the U.S., and for everybody back at Mavuno Village that's continuing to serve there. So I miss you all, and I hope I get to catch up with some of you, whether face-to-face at some point or through some other means. Very thankful, as we all are, for technology during this time. So I will see you all later.